Salutations, everybody! My name is Monkey Shrapnel from the Guys Who Play Games, back with some more Final Fantasy IX in depth. And at this point, all there really is to do is just find random little side quest things to do. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go back to Medainsuri here, and what we need to do is we need to actually bring Dagger with us this time. I don't remember what my party is. So I need Dagger. And then we just need to go talk to Lonnie, basically. Who will, in fact, not talk to us because she doesn't want to see Dagger or Amaranth. But we need to trigger this at least once in order to get different dialogue from Lonnie. And we can take a nice look at the cloudy Medainsuri again. I really do like the way this place looks on disc 4, honestly. So it's very, like, dull, because obviously, but it's very cool that they went to the effort of changing how the entire area looks on disc 4. Like, I mean, obviously, I say this a lot. Like, obviously they did, but, like, they didn't actually, like, there, you can see she leaps away when you get close. Like, you don't, like, I don't know. Maybe I just like to bring attention to little touches here and there, like, because, you know, the entirety of the world map is now covered in mist, they do have to actually, like, account for this stuff. And it is something to keep in mind, I guess. I don't know. I'm just filling the empty I'm filling the empty air with words that mean nothing. We got Lonnie to leap away with her incredible leaping skills. Everyone in this game is very athletic, huh? You know, all the characters that are actually like the characters you expect to be athletic anyways. You're not seeing Steiner do that, that's for sure. Alright. Now you gotta make sure to have not Dagger or Amaranth. If Amaranth is in the party, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure you specifically need Dagger in the party, but you need to come back without Amaranth, because Lonnie will still refuse to talk to you. But I don't think if you just bring Amaranth this works. You need to bring Dagger specifically and then leave and come back without her. Like, if you bring Amaranth only and then leave and come back without Amaranth, I don't think this works. It's the specific sequence of bring Dagger, then take Dagger out, and don't have Amaranth. I assume it's fine if you have Amaranth with you the first time, as long as you have Dagger with you, because either way, she leaps away. And then, you come back here. You know, I saw some words that might mean something in the small room over there. Now she has some follow-up dialogue. I forget what we do here. The old records of Angus the Mist. Whoops. I don't remember if there's like I don't remember if there's anything to read in here. There we go. There's something carved on it. Time moves forward once. Time moves backward once. 9 is the last number. It is also the first. Movement of time. Oh, look at that. I think that's a spelling error. Because when you say movement, you put the E in there, right? Am I wrong about that? Yeah, I think that's a spelling error. Wow, I forgot about this. The rare spelling error in this game filled with like 10 trillion lines of text, like honestly. If it's talking about a clock, forward is clockwise and backward is counterclockwise. So I think kind of, funny enough, spells out exactly what this is talking about, but now that we've read that little line and got Zidane to comment on it, what we want to do is head back over, well, head back, we haven't been here this part, but you know what I mean, let's go over to the Eidolon Mall. So, there's a reason why the camera's perspective for this room changes, because what we need to do now is... I forget how this works. My volume might even be too low. I don't remember. Okay, I'm gonna run back for a sec just to reread this, just to really make sure I know exactly what's happening here. Because I always fuck this up. Because it's like something about the way that this is set up always makes me think like it's more complicated than it is. I'm quickly gonna read the wiki too, just to make sure I'm not wrong about when you can do this. Just gonna double check. I'm gonna read the dialogue because, like, for all I know, maybe reading Lonnie's dialogue like resets it, and you have to check the comment again. Who knows? Because I swear this like it never works for me the first time I do it. I always end up having to redo this. Something carved on it. Time moves forward once. Time moves backward once. All right. Don't talk to Lonnie again. I doubt that breaks it, but like for some reason I always end up having to come back here once or twice and just like make sure I know exactly what to do. So like the dialogue says, what you're supposed to do is basically you do a clockwise motion of the wall here, and then you do a counterclockwise motion, and you do that 9 times, something happens. But it's like kind of finicky. There, okay. The beep, it's a different beep than usual. I'm sure you've noticed. This is usually the game has that high-pitched ding, you know, cheep whenever you pick up anything, but for this area only, it has like this weird low, quiet-pitched beep. And it's kind of hard to hear if you're not paying attention, so I can't talk during it when I'm reaching the wall. But basically you just do a full circle until you hear that beep. Technically 18 times? I think? For some reason. There we go. Okay, I think you only have to do the full thing 9 times. Like each loop, each one way is 1 time. And you only have to go back and forth 9 times. Like you go to the right once, and then you go to the left once. It's like I think you would go to the right 5 times and the left 4 times. But basically you do that 9 times. You get this message that we're actually fully healed. Somehow. And now there should actually be more dialogue around here. I don't actually know what's new. I know one message that's new, but I don't know what the other ones are. There's a couple new messages here. Why this triggers new stuff to pop up, I have no idea, and how it heals us. There's some Eidolon bullshit here, let's just say. But let's read everything authentically. So, this information is yet to be confirmed, but there was an eyewitness account of a previously undiscovered Eidolon. It was witnessed in Esto Gaza. If there's an Eidolon that can exist outside of our legends, our theory would no longer hold true. But maybe there are other tribes that have legends of their own. Which I believe this is referencing the moles of Mount Galug. Because they also had, you know, Eidolons and stuff. This is one of those details that's never really explicitly stated, but like I said way back when we were in Mount Galug. The fact that there's only 2 summoning circles in the whole world, and one of them is in Mount Galug, and the other one was in Alexandria Castle, is, you know, a pretty notable detail. Aiko, you are a treasure born to a dying village. We are dying and there is little we can do for you. We shall return to the stars with one wish in mind. If legends are not born of eidolons, and eidolons are but born out of legends, let us leave this place with one wish. If we can give birth to a legend, it shall create an eidolon that is friend and protector of humans. Aiko, my lovely child, until you turn 16 and have your own eidolon to your control, stay in this village, then build strong friendships with others. I wish for your happiness from far away. I think each eidolon now has its own message, basically. We repeated the mistakes our ancestors made 500 years ago. We failed an attempt at summon at the foot of the Aoife tree. I think this one's already read, but... The area surrounding the tree was unaffected, but we have sealed the area as they would have done 500 years ago. When the arrogant ones summoned a power that could not be controlled, holy judgment was passed. The jewel of this village must serve as a reminder of the day we had to leave our country. The first eidolon discovered, Shiva. Shiva took the form of a young girl when she was first discovered. She now appears as a grown woman. Eidolons adapt their forms to the time and culture in which they appear. Shiva illustrates this theory. In certain areas, Shiva is depicted as a snow fairy. This cannot be verified since the only written document that remains is in the Summoner village. People associate Shiva with the snow fairy. Why she changes forms remains a mystery. The legend of eidolons. We discovered eidolons by researching legends documented from around the world. The thunder god Ramu is one of those legends. Some theorize that the eidolons were created from the legends and not the other way around. This is where the fault lines collide. Listen to the planet's heartbeat. Breathe slowly and calm your mind. Let memories return to you. Memories shape time. Time overlaps. The overlap becomes our memory. Memories construct time. History repeats itself. We must stand in its flow and understand the world. Such is the goal of our tribe. And I think this is the one? Maybe not. Fear not the power of summon magic, but the ones who use it. Greed and instability endlessly repeat old mistakes. Will omnipotence set us free? I think there's one you have to like read multiple times to... something like that. Let me see here. I think it's Ifrit? Is this Ifrit? I don't actually know. I forget how this works. Which one is Ifrit? That's the question. Oh, here we go. I survived the storm. I wonder if you two are okay. Did I just like walk by this somehow? I see the two of you smile every time I close my eyes. I imagine I see you when I open my eyes. I have a mortal wound. I won't be able to wait for you very long. I regret being so unemotional for all these years. I'm writing down everything here in the hope that you'll read it someday. To my dearest wife Jane, although we fought many times and I may not have shown my affection enough, I love you very much. To my beloved daughter Sarah, my life changed when you were born. You made me happy. These are the things I want you to know. So if it wasn't obvious, this message right here, I think it's also worth knowing that in this room only, Zidane can only face in one of the cardinal directions. Like, you can make him go diagonal and whatnot, but even with, like, the analog stick, I can't make him face another way. But, so, Dagger's mother, that we see die in the very beginning of the game, in that cutscene at the start, this is the family that they're talking, that this message is referring to. The husband, so Dagger's mother's name is Jane, and Dagger's true name is Sarah, which is of course a reference to Final Fantasy 1, because of course it is. And that is what I wanted to show off today, because this is a pretty, like, I shouldn't say obscure, because I think a lot of people that if they actually care, whatchamacallit, like people who actually are interested in this stuff can probably find it pretty easily. Because it's not like it's that obscure. Like, Zidane pretty much tells you what to do. I love that the menu options pay gil for items. I don't know. It's always funny to me. Anyways, I guess, huh? Do I still have steeple hats? I do have more steeple hats. You know what? Let's go make some money, and then I'm gonna go to Bermucia because we actually need. I remembered where Atla is because I passed by him on like a trip last time without even realizing that Atla is the Bermucian Moogle. That is why he's still there. Just for the side quest. So it's kind of funny that potentially if Mognet was a little different in the way that it ended up happening, for all we know. I guess let's go to Trino. Depending on how they ended up doing the Mognet side quest here, we might not have had access to the steepled hat trick for the whole game. Because maybe at some point Bermucia got blocked off, but they decided to keep it for Atla for some reason, but not the other ones. But it kind of makes sense because Bermucia is one of those places that they didn't have to... Like, the world map can look exactly the same because it's already cloudy anyways there. Like, it's one of the few areas that they don't actually account for, because when the mist is gone, it doesn't rain on the overworld anymore, but it still rains inside Bermucia, for whatever reason. It's one of the things I guess they didn't account for. Do. So since we have to go to Bermucia naturally anyways, I might as well do the cotton robe while I have it all on me, and I can just go buy more steeple hats when I get over there. Because we do still need a fair bit of money. Final Fantasy IX's endgame is very money heavy. I make 72 of those and I will go sell them. The nice thing with the cotton robe thing, I think I've already mentioned this, but it's that it goes by a lot faster once you actually have the money because you can just do one trip each. Instead of like right now where I'm a little poor, so I have to run off to the weapon shop to sell the cotton robes right now. And then head back to make more. Do. Alrighty. Where's our robes? There they are. Boom. Makes us some pretty good moolah. Do. I know we've already talked about this, but I really do appreciate how nice looking Trino is. Like, he just like even things like the cats on the rooftops and stuff. Like, they really did put their heart and soul into making every location in this game. So, I mean, since we're doing a lot of wandering, maybe I'll just like talk about some things I haven't gotten a chance to talk about yet, like for example, how does counterattack work with, you know, the physical attackers like Zidane and Amon and whatnot? So the chance of countering is actually based on, like, big surprise I know, but it's based on your spirit stat. So whenever a attack that is flagged as counterable hits you, the game basically runs a check. It regenerates a number from 1 to 100. And if that number is lower than your spirit stat, then you successfully counter. So, you know, for example, let's take a look at Zidane's spirit stat here. In the early game, the chance of countering isn't super high, but once you get to the mid to late game, you can see that Zidane's spirit stat is 34, so it's actually a pretty decent chance to counter. At this point, it's about, you know, a 1 in 3 chance to counter. And then, if you equip the Eye for Eye ability, which says it raises counterattack activation, essentially what it does is it runs the same check, but your spirit stat is effectively doubled for the calculation. So it'll generate a number, and if it's lower than your doubled spirit stat, then you successfully counter. So with Eye for Eye on, it pretty much more or less does just double your counterattack rate. If you already have a spirit stat of like 50 or like above 50, then you do get some, I guess you could say, some overlap where it's slightly less effective, but getting your spirit stat to above 50 takes a lot of work, and you know, at that point I think you don't really have to worry about it as much. I did specifically mention attacks that are flagged as counterable, because not all physical attacks can be countered. Most can, but there are some that can't. Generally, attacks that monsters use that hit your whole party are the ones that sometimes can't be countered. It depends on what kind of physical attack it is. That's ooh. You know, I should have equipped my party members actually, because this would be a good time to get a little extra AP, but I don't remember what we need, so I guess here we go. It's one little lizard man. And I remember when Freya was doing like 200 damage per hit, man. Let me actually check everyone's AP while we're here. Like, what's everyone learning? Like, just concentrate, MP 20%, initiative, Eye for Eye, Dragon's Crest, Stock Break, yeah, just the usual stuff. Simon has the running shoes on, can he really not? I guess I'll give him the, I mean, I'm never gonna use Auto Reflect. Auto Reflect is not, like, the problem is that Auto Reflect is expensive, and unlike the other abilities in this game, Aiko's Carbuncle is actually quite good at putting Reflect on your full party. So Auto Reflect just isn't as necessary, plus it doesn't help that, you know, there's a couple boss fights ahead where Auto Reflect is kind of a bad idea. So I think we'll just slap on, I don't know. I guess while we're running around here, we'll give him the Protect Ring just to give him a little extra something to do. I think Freya's already learned everything she can basically learn. So we're good. I will put her in the front row now, though, just because, like, why not? Nothing around here is going to be doing much damage anyways. The encounter rate in Burmese isn't particularly high anyways. Like, a lot of times I'll get through here with, like, maybe 1 encounter. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I'll get 0. It's mostly, like, the few big rooms at the beginning that have an encounter chance. Like, usually, like, these little rooms here, you know, you don't get much in the way of encounters. This room is kind of big, but you can kind of cheese it by popping off into the side room there and then running back, because that'll reset your encounter rate. And then this room seems kind of long, but the encounter rate in here seems to be kind of low. And then here's a room where I sometimes tend to get an encounter on the way out. But here's Atla. A letter from Kupo. I wonder what it could be, Kupo. From Kupo to Atla. I heard we haven't received any mail lately because the machine in Mognet Central broke down, Kupo. It's supposedly a complicated machine. They're missing something that makes the machine run smoothly, Kupo. I wonder if it'll start getting mail again if the machine gets fixed, Kupo. I'll give you this in exchange for delivery. He gives us a Kupo nut. And now, if we check Mognet again, we're getting closer to solving the mystery of Mognet, Kupo. Let's deliver a letter to Mogrio. And of course, while we're here, make sure to buy your set of steeple hats. If only there was an item in this game that lets you just, like, teleport out. Mogrio. I think that's somewhere on the outer continent. That's what I remember, but I guess that would... I think that's the Black Mage Village one? Because there are no Mogs in Like, none of the Moogles in Madain Suri are actually, like, male Moogles. Like, you can't save any of them, right? So, none of them are valid for that. Nice damage, Steiner. And there's not really any other locations on the outer continent that you can even go to at this point. Wow, I'm actually getting a lot of encounters on the way out here, but that's fine, because we get more AP. It's kind of the nice thing about learning abilities, is even when you're running around these areas that don't have strong monsters, you can still get your fair share of abilities by just not running, basically. Oh no, gradual petrify. Whatever will I do? I will turn to stone in roughly, like, some amount of time. At this point, it's like 20 seconds, probably. But then Steiner takes care of it, no problem, so. Hey, nice. I got MP up 20%. Or is it MP plus 20%? Because I think Final Fantasy VII calls it, like, HP and MP up or something. Or, like, HP boost? No. It's for the stats in 7, it's boost. And then I think for the HP and MP specifically, it's just MP up. Where's the pumice piece? You know, we're going to finally equip this to start learning boost. Because I've been stalling on learning boost for... I don't even know why at this point. Because since I guess I'm here, let me look up... Let me look up the way that it works. So... Let me just double check on this. Blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. Okay, so I'm gonna get my calculator open just to make sure I understand the odds here. 2 and 3, but otherwise it's... Okay, so I understand now. So the way that summonings work, if you don't know, in this game, when you get the short animation or the long animation, the long animation is stronger, right? I've already kind of mentioned that. And even for things like Aiko's Carbuncle, right? If you get the full animation, you get an extra effect. So the long animation is stronger than the short animation. This is a consistent effect across all the Eidolons, basically, right? And what boost does... Wow, holy crap. Well, rip Zidane's MP, I guess. If you use the boost command that we, you know, have equipped on Aiko here, if I equip that using her stones, let me actually check how much it costs. I think it's kind of expensive, but for the most part, I don't think it's that bad. It's like 10 or something like that. Like, it's a little expensive, but it is pretty effective. And it's... Oh, it's 12, okay. It says it raises strength of Eidolons, but basically when you have boost equipped, you always get the full animation. However, if you don't have boost equipped, then the chance of getting the full animation actually depends on how much MP you have. So, if you have enough MP that you... Like, basically, if you have enough MP to cast the summon twice over, it's like if you have more than twice the cost of the Eidolon in your MP... And actually, let me double check this. I don't remember if having half MP makes it easier. Okay, so it's unaffected by half MP. So it's if you have twice as much of the MP or more of the full MP cost. So if half MP is equipped, it doesn't make it easier to get, the full summon animation. It does not affect it. If you have MP equal to the summon cost times 2 or higher, you have about a 33% chance to get a full summon animation. However, if you do not have that much MP equipped and you have less than that, then instead the cost of the or the chance of getting the full summon drops down to 10% only. So essentially, Eidolons kind of reward summoners in this game for keeping their MP counts high, is basically what that means. There's your next little fact of the day, I guess. I'm not sure if I ever went over that, so now is as good a time as any. Before we buy our 99 risks, let's take a nap to restore Zidane bloody 200 MP he just lost out on. He's sitting in for his dad, who's in the item shop getting drunk. Which Moogle is this? It's Gumo. Gumo does not have anything for us. But Malgrio should be in the Black Mage Village. I believe that's where he is. If not, I'll look it up after if I'm wrong. Which could in fact happen pretty reasonably, I guess. Do 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 do. Alright, let's scoot. That's the... No. Where's the... There it is. Our Chuckball's over there, which is a little annoying, but that's fine, because we can run through the forest and maybe get an encounter or two on the way. It's nice to kind of fragment encounters out like this to just slowly get more abilities. I think Freya learned Eye for Eye, but I don't think she has anything else that she can really equip anyways, so it doesn't really matter if I keep the Kaiser Helm on her. I guess the Genji Helm is better, but it's probably fine. Steiner's learning stuff anyways, so he can't learn Eye for Eye just yet. Freya's almost learned Dragon's Crest too. That's another ability that's quite complicated to go over, but... Actually, Dragon's Crest is very straightforward, but it's something that's kind of tricky to learn. Alright, who are we running into? We're gonna run into Hecdize, Malboro. Yeah, Malboro. Actually, since we're here, let's use Dragon's Crest just to see. Have I even used it yet? Let's check out the damage. It does 676 damage. Not that much right now. Instead, let's just murder him with Holy. Just like with Thievery, Freya's Dragon's Crest does have a trick to it, basically. To make it do more damage, but you have to kind of figure it out. Oh, here comes Absorb. Whoa ho ho. And he's down. There we go, we have learned Dragon's Crest. How does Dragon's Crest work? I'll bring it up at Probably before we go to the next location. I almost... Never mind. Momo. I can actually get initiative from the obelisk, but we're already getting it from the boots, so it's fine. But then again, Dragon's Breath is the best thing. You know, we'll give the obelisk back on her. I'm actually gonna slap high jump back on her too, because why not? In fact, since I went to the effort, let's get one more encounter, because I'll just blast whatever shows up, and then I can go sleep in the inn in here. And it's a good time sink to get to, you know, more guys to show up. Alright, jump. I don't think he's gonna live this. You know, small detail I've always loved about casting magic games. I like how the different intensities of magic have like different levels of light that happen. Where like, for example, with Holy, it like transitions from full light to like pitch black. Well, wow, Aiko's casting it. Not just like it just snaps from one to the other. It like transitions while she starts casting it. Like it's a nice little effect. And like stuff like a lot of Vivi's stuff does this too. Like, and it gets to different levels depending on how like the intensity of the magic, right? Like I believe Flare will do the same thing for Vivi, but for like the Agas it'll just be like halfway. Like it's a nice little effect. I think I actually will equip the rubber suit on her, because why not? Well, you know, we'll leave the Dragon Mail on her. It's good defense. Alright. We're going to take a quick nappy poo. But first, let's us go ahead and give this letter to Maugrio here. Yes! Thanks for delivering mail from Atla, Kupo. From Atla to Maugrio. We haven't been receiving mail because the machine in Mognet Central broke down. I wonder how we can fix it, Kupo. Do you think there's a special item that will fix the machine? A special item? Maybe it's... I think I'm close to solving the mystery of Mognet. I want you to deliver a letter to Kumul. Kumul. I do not remember where Kumul is at all, actually. Let's go to the inn. Unfortunately, we can't synthesize cotton robes here. You have to go to somewhere else. This is the only place you can't actually do this trick now. And like, not like you not buy the stupid hats anymore, but you can't even make the cotton ropes here anymore, so. On the bright side, you still get a free sleep here, though. Which is nice. Have a good day. I guess to end things off, I could do the next stuff, but... Well, actually, you know, what's my recording time at? It's at 40 minutes. You know what? Let's go let me actually look up where Kumul is. Kumul is in Ibsen's castle. Okay. So I guess that's fine. You can go run into him and get a fight in Ibsen's castle or two, you know, no big deal. Get some fights here too, let them learn more abilities. There's the heck guys. Damn, just smacked him for 1,000. He's hypnotizing! But I guard that. Oh, nice crit. And we got a Phoenix Pinion, I'll take it. Hey, it's more, that's 1,000 gil if I don't need it. Aiko's not going to take much damage from that, I don't think. Yeah, it's 600, not that bad. Holy crap, back-to-back crits? Jeez, calm down, Steiner. Actually, you know, since I just thought of it, let me take a look at my cards. What's also what's Freya at for things? She should be learning initiative real quick because she gets double from having 2 of these equipped, and then she'll also get double from the AP up. So she's getting like a lot. She's getting a minimum like 4, and then for a 2 AP it's 8, and then for a triple AP it's 12 per fight with now that equipped. So it's pretty good. But let me look at my cards here. So, a mechanic with cards is that you get bonus points for every card having a unique, like, set of arrows, essentially, right? I've gotten a lot of cards here because I haven't really looked at these in a while. Let's see how Eidolon's out, which is nice. So you can tell if the one you throw away has, like, a set of arrows you don't have because you'll lose points for it. But a lot of these cards are easy to get, so I'm just going to throw away because you can only hold 100 cards, keep in mind. Kind of a funny thing actually is you can hold exactly 100 cards and there are exactly 100 cards to like collect, so getting a good score here is kind of a pain because you need 100 cards that each have, and you need to have like every possible combination of arrows, so getting a perfect score is kind of a nightmare in some ways. But let's go to Ibsen's castle first, and then I'll finish off by going to whatchamacallit, to Daggero, and I'll make some cotton robes there while we're in the area. But yeah, I'm sure you can see a bit of a pattern here. So all of the locations that aren't blocked off are related to Chocobo Hot and Cold, basically. Mind you, they could have very easily have just not blocked off other locations, but I'm guessing they just wanted like a decent variety of locations. And like it does give them a chance to actually show off that Ibsen's castle is covered in all this mist. So maybe that's why they did that. Oh! Whoopsies. Well, guess I didn't even mean to do that, but I guess I'm gonna end up getting an encounter here anyways, huh? That was an accident. I just randomly ran into one of the trapdoors. That's actually so funny. I totally forgot about that. Well, who are we running into? We don't have Airman, so we can find Tonberries if we want to. Nice try, Buckaroo. Freya can do decent damage with her jump, and then we'll just kind of muggle. Let Freya finish it off, and we'll try to get one more steal out of this guy, because why not? He's gonna do some damage to Flame. Frankly, I don't care. It's not that much. Hey, we got a tent. I'll take it. At this point, I kind of need all the money I can get, because we are, like, still killing for some money, so... We got initiative, stock pick, and restoring HP. Yeah, that was it. How nice. And finally put Direct Terror right back on. Take the boots off of her and just give her, I guess, could give her the Rebirth Ring. The barette's pretty good, and like we have extras though, so you know, we'll put the barrette on her. Is that all of her abilities? Yeah, so Freya's learned all of her attacks now at this point. We can also now finally use the Excalibur that we picked up, which has Holy Elemental attack, which means, you know, slap a piece of gear on Steiner that boosts his Holy Elemental damage and watch him go crazy. There's actually quite a few of those if you know where to look, so it's not even that hard to do. You might even have a helmet that does that. Yeah, Mithril Helm. I would say if you're going to do that, though, it's probably better to use an accessory. Like, let's see here. Yeah, no, the pumice pieces absorbs Holy. Is there not an accessory? There we go, the Rebirth Ring. So slap the Rebirth Ring on Steiner with the Excalibur equipped, and he just does a trillion gajillion damage. Alright, let's get out of here. Actually, before I forget, oh, you can't menu when you're climbing a pole. Crazy, I know. What is, I forget, does this room change? I never checked, actually. Does this room change when the thing's open? Nope. It just gives you a little preview of that area for no particular reason. Alright, K'mool areas. If you want, you can still buy everyone's second best weapon here. And a couple decent pieces of equipment if you haven't picked these up already. It even has items this out, man. This guy's kind of stacked, huh? Alright, let's give K'mool a letter. What? A letter? Thanks, Kupo. From Mogrio to K'mool. I heard that the machine in Mognet Central broke down. It's because they're missing that item. I wonder if you can find one, Kupo. It's a rare item, so I don't think you'll find one very easily. That item? Oh. I have a favor to ask, Kupo. I want to deliver a letter to Moy. Now, Moy is one I definitely don't remember where he is, because... Moy is originally from the Ice Cavern, I believe, but I don't remember where he goes, because for a brief period of time, you can, like, talk to him at the entrance of the Ice Cavern, but he, like, the entire Ice Cavern gets sealed off on Disc 4 completely, so you can't interact with him in that way. Nice miss. Throw a soft at the Agaris. Or I guess the Gargoyle. That kills him. Easy experience. At this point, Freya will probably annihilate this guy, but otherwise, I guess I'll just I mean, I could also just annihilate him with one of those attacks. Let's see how this goes. It's a lot of MP to use Steiner's skills. Boom! 7,000 damage. Nicely done, Aiko, Freya. Not Aiko. I don't know why I defaulted to Aiko because I was on Aiko. You still get a lot of experience from these fights too, so like, it's not a terrible place to farm either. Jump into the hole? No. Get me out of here. I'm like, that hole like opened up in such an awkward spot. Alright. We'll finish the rest of the Mongnet Central Quest later, I think, because I don't even remember where our Ice Cavern buddy went. So let's just go to Daggero and do our cotton rope stuff there, I guess. If I remember correctly, I think one of the Moogles requires you to go to like the whatchamacallit, Fossil Rue entrance in the Q's Marsh on the Mistcontinent there. And in order to go there, you actually need to have Quina with you, because without Quina, you literally can't walk into that screen because it just the path just isn't open. So maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. That's like my best guess. My best guest. I don't know why I said guest, but there you go. How many ore do we have right now? We have 90. And actually, since we're... Why wouldn't I look at the aquamarines then? How many aquamarine do I have? I have 20 of those. The one I have the least of is... I guess the aquamarine and the garnet. So I guess let's... I forget what you need to make garnets. Is the garnet the one you use the dead pepper for, or is that the remedy? Because the remedy one's the expensive one. Obviously. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, I guess. Let's just make some more cotton ropes here. Oh, I made the rest of those cotton ropes, but I never sold them, so I actually... Sort of, that's why I didn't have as much money as I thought I did. Oops. That's kind of funny, actually. Well... That's fine, I guess. Oh, whoa. He had something to say there, but I kind of skipped over it because I forgot that he actually reacts to the old man there. Well, that's fine, whatever. If you care enough, you can read it yourself. He said something about Grandpa becoming forgetful. Sell all our cotton robes. Send them back here. Make the rest of them. That puts us at just under 200,000 gil. Which isn't bad. I don't know where that last Moogle, or the last Moogle, but I don't know where the Moogle we're looking for is. I don't want to save here, because this is kind of a... I also didn't look, dang it. I didn't look at the... I'm pretty sure it's the remedy, but I might as well double check how you make more garnets. Also double check if there's any accessories here we haven't made. Make a Pearl Rouge with an elixir and a moonstone, but, you know, like I said, don't do that. Same with the Promised Ring. It requires rubies to make, which you only have, like, how many of, so don't do that. Unless you don't care, then it really doesn't actually matter, but... Yeah, Ore and Remedy. It's not that expensive, but it's like... It's the most expensive in terms of synthesized cost and the materials, because the Remedy is a lot more expensive than the other stuff. Like, compared to, say, the... You know, the Opal or the Topaz. Well, I won't worry about that. We'll dump a couple more into the Aquamarine machine. We'll do 20. Get ourselves 5 more. 5 Aquamarine, nice. Where should I even go to save then? I guess I'm gonna go save at Dolly just for funsies, I guess, just so I can get more wrists. Because I'll probably do like another round. I might run around and learn some stuff off screen, just the rest of their abilities, because like I'll go to like the Dolly to buy my wrists, and while I'm running through Bermusi, I'll probably fight a couple of the enemies in there. But otherwise, that's gonna be it for this part. This is what the next couple parts are gonna look like. It's just me kind of just filling a checklist. I'm glad I at least got to talk about. I actually had stuff to talk about at least. I got to mention the summons and the counter mechanics, just because I happened to look those up before starting this. Because I had a feeling I needed something to talk about. Like what do they even have to learn at this point? Freya doesn't really need to care. Neither does Steiner, actually. So maybe I'll swap these guys out. Actually, you know what? Since he just needs the auto regen on the Carabiner armor, then I can give him the Maximilian. Let's quickly fight some encounters out here. Because why not? In fact, actually, since we're here... Remember those ghosts I was talking about way back when? Where is that? Where's that gate? Is that the gate? Where? It's near one of the gates, but I don't remember which one. It might be near South Gate, actually. I think that's what it is, yeah. It's this gate. You go to this side, right near where this gate's blocked off, and you can fight ghosts outside here, so I might as well do that, because why not? This is the only time you can do this for whatever reason, right? Because this area, these ghosts are not here when the mist is gone, even though you're above the mist, but the encounters are still different. And hey look, there they are. Ow, 9 damage, oh no. Steiner actually did only 2,000 damage to them because I believe they actually resist Holy and they're weak to Shadow. But you get 2 AP from them, so like why not? It's barely leveling us up, but it does let us learn a couple abilities here quickly. Steiner should only need 1 more fight. You can also see how that triangle of the root is kind of messed up depending on the camera angle, which is kind of funny to look at. I wonder if that's an actual PlayStation glitch or if that's just because of the emulator. I mean, my legally sanctioned PlayStation. I'm not emulating. What are you talking about? And there's the spiders. At least the spiders are still here. My good buddy, Spider. Wham. Poor guy never knew it hit him. And there we go, he's learned auto regen, so we can slap the Maximilian on him. And I think I'll actually change my party for the rest of this. Yeah, we'll give you the Maximilian because you don't need anything else. Freya doesn't need the thing, but I mean, whatever. I don't have anything else to learn from any of these slots. Alrighty. Oh, right. I always get my directions mixed up right around this gate. These three basically learned everything they realistically need to learn at this point. I can leave the pumice piece on her because you have another one for dagger to learn, and I guess otherwise I'll just give her the Minerva's plate just to pad. Alright. Who do we go with now? I guess we'll just swap in the obvious ones there. There, I guess, and then Gwenna? Gwenna doesn't actually have that much to learn either, but Vivi really doesn't have much to learn. Vivi has, like, the least amount of abilities to learn, and they're all on just, like, his robes, so Vivi doesn't really have to worry too much about that. Just slap that on her, start learning Concentrate. Still learning Bahamut. You can get the Kaiser Knuckles. Gwenna really doesn't have much to learn at this point, but I also kind of like the double money Gwenna gets, so... that might literally be it. It's like... you know, we'll throw Vivi a bone, though. We'll bring Vivi in, because Gwenna doesn't have much to learn either, so... Vivi's getting Meteor and Osmos, Return Magic, blah blah blah. And hey, you can get half MP too. Why not? Alright. Alright. That's enough stalling. We're gonna go into Dolly. We'll buy the wrists. We'll take a rest at the inn, and then I'm gonna save. And we'll see you guys next time. Boom. See the way I action-packed opened that door? Wow, crazy. I really am just running out. I ran out of things to talk about at this point. Do I even need the rest of the inn? Like, these three haven't even been in fights. Like, yeah, let's just say that's it for this part. See you guys later.